All right, guys, remember that new boat we bought in my last video? This one right here? Well, today we're cutting into it. We're gonna try and salvage the fuel tank, or we're just gonna replace the fuel tank completely. Basically, the previous builder of this boat had a good idea, but ended up just not really doing it correctly. And this fuel tank is a problem. So I just don't feel super comfortable with how it is. I've been getting water in the fuel. I don't feel comfortable taking my family out on it in this current setup. So we're gonna cut it out, try and save the fuel tank, maybe replace it, and we're gonna take you guys along for the ride. So far, all we've done is pulled that hatch off, and then there's our fuel tank. So the issue they did here is they put a nice aluminum tank in here. They foamed it in. However, they put one of these plastic hatches on top, and over time, these things let water in, and even when they're brand new, they don't completely let all water out to begin with. And water got in here, and this tank is just sitting in a pool of water. Yes, it's aluminum, but over time, it's gonna cause pitting, and it's not gonna last. I mean, just look at the cap on this thing. It's rusty. Not good. We're also kind of having a vent issue, I think, because as this thing sits in the sun, the bottom of my fuel separator keeps blowing off the bottom. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna cut out the top of this thing, try and get the fuel out of here, pull it out. The tank's salvageable, we'll clean it up, drop it back in. We're gonna put a drain back here, so any water that gets in here can actually drain out, because right now there's no way for the water to get out, which is one of the reasons why we're having this issue. And we're not gonna foam it in again, because the foam holds moisture when it gets wet. And with a setup like this, if there's any water in there, there's gonna be water in there. You don't want foam. Basically, if you ever foam in a tank, you want it to be fiberglassed in, absolutely zero chance of any water getting into the foam or around the tank whatsoever. That's when foaming in a tank is good. If water can get in, then foaming in a tank is a horrible idea. All right, so we just took some measurements, made some lines. It's gonna be our estimated cut. Probably come in, about 2 inches off the wall here, pull that straight out, and then should have all the access in the world to get this thing out of here. All right, just like that, the fuel tank is out. So we're gonna have to replace a hose. So I'm gonna get that rusty hose clamp off. So I have that hose in place, the vent, and we got into it a little bit. You can see the water. This is exactly why we're doing this. I've pulled foam out of one boat before, and it definitely sucks. So I'm not really looking forward to this, but that's step 2. Alrighty, so after about 4 hours of work, we got the fuel tank out, got the foam cleaned up, and we just vacuumed it out. It's a good bit of work. Fuel tank was real tight coming out. I had to use my cherry picker here to get under the fuel tank and actually pry it out, because it was real tight right in here, right in here. I had to come make some extra cuts too, with the skill saw. And scrape some of the foam with my claw hammer, scrape some foam off the walls with this deal. And here we are. So now I think the ideal thing is just gonna be to find a plastic tank that fits in here and then build a little hatch. So I think that's the plan as of right now. All right, so we got a fuel tank, 12 gallons. Old one was 18. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna glass this over the top. We're gonna cut a hole in the front here so we can just slide the tank in and out as needed. Nice big deck up here for our fishing. We've got the hole saw out because I'm gonna cut a nice big drain in here because we want water to be able to go in here and drain out into the bilge, get pumped out by the bilge pump. Nice big hole saw. Decided to go with this size because it's perfect to glass that piece of PVC in the hole when we're done. We might also put a hole connecting these side boxes so we can run wires if we want. So all my wires coming over here. So if I wanted to put speakers up front here or lights or something, I have a way to get the wires from in there to over there without just running them across the open in the back, kind of hide them some. Just like that, our hole's cut for our drain. It's always interesting to see, how thick a material they use for the coring, what kind of material and how much glass they put on it. This looks like 2 layers of glass on the outside and 1 on the inside. Very light. Forget what this honeycomb material is called that they use on coring on boats nowadays, but supposedly it's pretty strong, doesn't rot. Obviously not as strong as like a Kusa, but still isn't gonna rot like a wood. So, and it's really, really light. Another thing I'm gonna throw in here real quick is this is my old fuel tank vent. This hose came through, went to the top of the tank to vent the fumes. You never want to mount these on a flat surface like this, because all this is just a tube that runs to the tank. I just tipped this over and it had a bunch of water in it, right? you kind of want to let gravity prevent water from getting in there. So you mount it on a wall so water runs, but basically water's going to get in there, it's going to go in, and then it's going to go straight to your fuel tank. So you never want to mount this on a flat deck surface like the previous builder of this boat did. All right, and we're back. Day 3, day 2, we didn't get to work on it at all, but we had 24 hours to think about how we want to do this, right? What we've decided is, instead of cutting a hole here and being able to slide the tank through the front and then just glassing this flat, we're going to leave that, because after doing some measuring, you know, I was left with about this much, and I was a little worried if someone sat on here, maybe it would break. There just wouldn't be a ton of support there with all this cut out and just a thin kind of like 2-3 inches across the top. So we scratched that. However, what we are going to do is just once again do a hatch up here. Initially when I was thinking hatches, I was thinking, you know, like a gas shock that comes up here, this thing opens up, make it real nice, close flush, put a seal around it. After adding a bunch of stuff up, didn't want to spend that much money, but right now what we're going to do is we're going to come in and grind this outer part all flush with the wall, and then create a super simple kind of ledge that goes around it. The flat shelf is just going to sit on here. It's going to have 2 pull handles, and we can just be able to pull this thing up and out of here. I don't have to buy hinges, and I don't have to buy a gas shock, and I can just keep it super simple, budget friendly. Tank will drop in, have a little bit of space above it, throw a couple life jackets on top of it maybe, and then just a little that sits on there. And then I think it would be sweet to then get a cooler that can sit on top of here that can kind of strap in and sit here. The only time you really would need to get in here if I didn't put the life jackets in here is just to fuel up the boat. So that's a new plan. Now we're gonna get to grinding. We're gonna grind this edge. We're gonna clean everything up in here, sand it. We're gonna grind off all this 4200 or whatever this is, so we can reseal the new hatches. And then we're gonna build a little hatch that goes on top. We're also gonna re-gel coat, get rid of all this blue and just make it all white, because I bought white gel coat. I'm not gonna try and color match this. I'm not gonna re-tape everything out. We're gonna sand everything up here and just re-gel coat the top of this and be done. So, oh buddy, I'm gonna be itchy. That's what we got so far. Hit it with the flap disc. Now we're gonna come back, hit it with the orbital sander. Cleaned up the edges, fuel tank fits in there perfect. Got all this for 4200 off the edges. A little bit of progress. It's hot out here. Wear proper PPE. I'm not. Do what I say, not as I do. I had my shirt wrapped around my face to try and keep this shit out of my lungs, which you really want to do. Ideally get a respirator for sure. All right, quick little update. We sanded everything down, got everything flush, and then we decided to come back and fill in, basically. See how this kind of honeycomb type material that's in there has a bunch of holes. So we took some fiberglass reinforced Bondo. Typically I would just use resin, milled fibers, and like Cavasil and make up a peanut butter type putty myself for this kind of thing. However, I didn't have Cavasil, and I did have this brand new can of fiberglass reinforced Bondo. And it's basically the same for the most part. I mean, it's a fiberglass resin putty thickened up, right? So we used it to fill some holes over here, and then we kind of came around the edge and just tried to fill in the edge like this. We're not doing it here because the hatches cover it, so we're not worried about it. However, the hatch we're building here will not cover it when it's open. We left that hole for a fuel line. We left that hole in case we want to run wires through. And yeah, we're gonna let this just cure, and then we're gonna come back, sand it smooth, and then it'll pretty much be ready just to slap in a bunch of gel coat after that. All right, so it's cured. We just hit it with the flap disc. Just kind of knocked it down, smoothed it out a good bit. And yeah, we'll roll gel coat on this. You know, if you wanted to make this perfect, this glass is already bumpy and everything, but if you wanted to make it perfect, this is where you would come in with like a fairing putty, layer on everything, sand it smooth, and spend hours and hours sanding it and doing body work basically. However, this is a skiff, so we're not doing that. We're already dealing with things like that. You can see kind of the edge of the glass and these other hatches. Knock it down, roll it on there so there's no sharp edges. And that is the skiff finish. We're gonna roll in some gel coat. We got like 16 ounces here. We're gonna mix in our MEKP. It's 1 to 2% ratio. So I'm gonna have to look it up, but I think I'm gonna do about 8 or 9 cc's on here, mix it. I got some quarter round that I had as a stir stick, so I don't have one. And then I forgot to buy trays too, so we're kind of just gonna dump this on the surface, like light trickle, and then just roll it all around. Rolling gel coat's super easy, especially on a skiff when you're not going for perfection. So, all right, just like that. First coat of gel coat is on. Put it on pretty thick. So the next coat, we'll put a wax solution in it. That'll be our final coat. Last step will be building our lid for right here. And just so you guys have a little bit better understanding of why we did that putty in there, right? See how it just makes it seamless now that gel coat's on there? We don't have this wall and then kind of a cap on it, right? You can see where the gap was, where they combined there. But for the most part, looks like a nice seamless one piece. Alrighty, second coat is on. It's looking good. Gonna build the lid tomorrow and update you guys on that. All right guys, so it's been a little bit of time later. Went on vacation for a week, and but we still got to finish this project up. Don't remember exactly where we let off, but this is where we're at right now. My cousin did use the boat while I was out of town. Everything ran great. We did have one issue though, which is this tank, when it gets hot, it's ballooning, it's increasing pressure, sending fuel pressure into the engine, and fuel was leaking, coming out down at the bottom, going down the cowling. So our solution to that is we can just, this has a quick disconnect on it from right here. So just pop it off. Tank will now expand and contract on its own without actually affecting the engine. You can see though where it was pushing pressure out of this line here. So maybe tighten that clamp down more, or, you know. But we're gonna create a template to build our hatch. We got some boxes, some cardboard, and we're gonna see what we can come up with. I will update you guys in a second with what we end up doing. All right, so this is what we came up with for a template idea. We kind of just put cardboard all around it, and then we're gonna take a marker underneath and trace the edge on the bottom of the cardboard. That should give us an outline. There's a lot of different ways to do this. This is just one way I'm doing it. When I built my other boat, I basically used toothpicks? No, not toothpicks, popsicle sticks. And I glued them together with hot glue to make templates for everything, whether it's my stringers, hatches. I don't feel like gluing a bunch of popsicle sticks, so I'm trying something different with this. Let you guys know how it works. All right, so that was our final template. Cut out what we traced, then just trace it on our piece of core material here. Hopefully it's a little bit bigger, and then we can kind of sand it down to make it perfect. All right, just cut it out. As you can see, we left some black, and then now we can come through with just like some 60 grit sandpaper by hand and just sand this foam real easily. As you can see, it's a little big, just as predicted. I'll fine tune it. All right, and there's our piece. It's still a little tight, so we gotta do a little bit more sanding, but this is what I use to sand the edges. I think this might be 40 grit. It's real tight right now, so I'm gonna sand it a little bit more, and then I think I glass it and then sand it after it's glassed until I have a nice fit that I'm looking for. Just fine tune it. This would be perfect if I was just covering the hole, glassing this in. This would be a good fit to glue around the edges, tab it in. But we want to have easy access if we want to replace this fuel tank in the future. We can just open this up, pull the fuel tank out, throw a new one in. Keep it super simple. All right, so now that we got our piece ready, we pre-cut our 1708. We're gonna do 2 layers on each side. Now we're mixing up our resin. So I'm hoping this is enough resin to do 2 layers. It's like 21 ounces. I bet you I have extra. Then we mix the MEKP, methyl ethyl ketol peroxide, per, just, you know, you can Google. You know, I got 22 ounces of resin, how much MEKP, it's gonna tell me how many cc's to do. Up here, we're gonna stir it up real good to make sure it's mixed, and then we're gonna start laying down some glass. So when I fiberglass this foam, I do a really thick resin coat, let this foam kind of absorb the resin, and then I start laying on my glass. So, all right, this is 2 layers on here. We come back, hit it with this little bubble buster roller, gets all the air out and pushes the excess resin. We had to get a little bit more resin. 21 ounces wasn't enough after that thick resin coat. So we did 21 and then we did 12 more, and now we have some extra. But so I'm just gonna do this until all the air gets out. All right, so first laminate's kicked off. It's hard. Board looks pretty straight, which is good. Don't really see any air in here. Looks like a good lay. I flip it and do the other side. I'm not gonna show you the same thing. Something I did do off camera is, this thing's hot. You'll get drips on the edge. They'll be big, kind of like water droplets on the sides. So I just hit them with the roller. Tried to flatten them out because sanding them is annoying after. Well, time to repeat, and then when we're done with that, we grind off the edges. All right, so we just bust out the table saw and we cut some PVC board. We cut like these, I don't know, maybe 1 inch, 1.5 inch strips. And our plan, I believe, is to double these up like so. And that'll be basically our catch for our hatch. Because if it's perfect size, it's gonna fall down, right? So it's gotta sit on something. So it's gonna sit on this PVC so it doesn't fall down into the hatch. Set the height. Now say our board's 1 inch thick. We set this 1 inch lower than the edge, and then your board or my hatch will sit flush. All right, so we just grind it down the edges. Here's our final piece. This foam is super weak, and then when you put a couple layers of gloss on it, it's all of a sudden like freaking plywood. It's super strong. See if it fits. Try and remember what direction went where. Gonna fit like a glove. I gotta put the camera down and test this. All right, so our piece fits. Now let's build our rail. And then gel coat this, and then we're done. Once we get the rail in too, we can really confirm if we need to sand down any edges or anything. And that, my friends, is how you make a super cheap, simple hatch. We still have to put edging on the sides. But I'll show you the edging. If I can get this out now. Oh no. Here we go. Edge, edge. I'm pulling over there, I'm pulling over there. It'll be solid. Solid. All right, guys, I was gonna wrap up this video. All that's left is to gel coat it and secure something so I have some pull tabs to pull it up. Other than that, it turned out good. I'll show it to you guys one more time here. Super easy hatch lid. And I'm simply just gonna do like some webbing screwed into here that I can just pull this thing off. No latches. Latches are like $50 on the cheap end. If I did 2 of them, looking at an extra $100. So just a skiff, budget build. Just gonna paint it white, gel coat it white, and be done with it. So thank you guys for watching. It's too hot out here. I'm gonna gel coat it later, maybe tomorrow morning. But drop a comment below. Tell me what you think.